Hello, 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 everybody. I hope you are having a fantastic, in my case, it would be evening, but depending on what part of the world in which you reside, it might be the morning, might be the afternoon, might be the wee hours, whatever it is. I hope you are having a good time. I hope your current existence in this point in time is pleasurable. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so I wanted to hop on here, and I was originally trying to start this thing at 7 o'clock, but I just kept having technical difficulty after technical difficulty, and perhaps I could get. My daughter is singing. I'm not sure if you can hear that or not. Probably can because she's being pretty loud. But I've just been having technical difficulty after technical difficulty. So here I am finally streaming much, much later than I originally wanted to. Coming at you live straight from my daughter's room. I've strategically chosen this location for a multitude of reasons. Number one, my daughter's kind of in the living room watching her favorite show on TV, which is called Puffin Rock, which is actually not a bad show. The colors are very sort of mild and easy to look at. It's not as bad as like some of the other kid shows that are just annoying as hell. So she's in there watching her program, and meanwhile, my infant daughter is kind of over down the hall in my wife and I's bedroom, sleeping in her little bedside bassinet. So I decided to go with my daughter's room because the office is just kind of like on the other side of the house. So I wanted to be able to be in earshot of my 2-month-old so that if she starts screaming, which I anticipate will probably happen over the course of this stream, probably multiple times, then I'll be able to put her pacifier back in, or try to comfort her in some way. Maybe probably even have to pick her up, most likely. But anyway, to the folks who are already in here, thank you for joining. I hope you are doing very well. And I, as always, invite you to type whatever you want in the chat, whatever you guys want to talk about. There's a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. And that's kind of like the future of, like, I had like you ever have those moments in life where you just have like a rush of ideas? You have like a bunch of ideas, you have a bunch of inspiration, and really, like, the question then becomes like, am I going to, follow through on this or not? And of course, most people, when they're in that sort of creative rush of positivity and they have all these like good ideas and aspirations and they want to go for it. The answer to that question is almost always yes. Of course, I'm going to follow through with it. But of course, that it's time tells, right? Time will tell whether or not I am able or willing to actually follow through on the ideas that I have. But nonetheless, I still wanted to share them with you, if you don't mind. Number one, I'm trying to use this program. I'm trying to use this software called Streamlabs, and I've been reading good things about it, and I've seen like so many cool things that you can do with it, like a lot of YouTube like tutorials and things like that on how to use Streamlabs. And if anybody has any experience with it, maybe you've tried to do a live stream of your own. If anybody out there has any experience using Streamlabs and you want to like help me, maybe we can get on a Discord call, and I would be eternally grateful for any kind of guidance or help that you could provide, because I tried using it tonight and failed miserably. I connected Streamlabs to my YouTube account, and I pressed go live. I put in a title, I put in a description. It didn't ask me to upload a thumbnail or shoot a or take a picture of a thumbnail, which I thought was kind of weird. But nonetheless, I hit live. It said I was broadcasting, said I had 0 concurrent viewers. I let it go for like 5 minutes straight. And then I was suspicious, because usually, my concurrent viewer count is never high by any stretch of the imagination. It's always very low, which is one of the other things I want to talk about later. But for now, I just had no viewers coming in, minutes passing. So I'm like, wait a minute, is this thing even visible? Like, if I go to my YouTube channel on my tablet, so I had to like go down and hunt my tablet down discreetly, carefully, so that my daughter couldn't see me, because if she sees me messing with the tablet, then it's like, oh, she wants to play with it. So I grabbed my tablet and I searched for my own YouTube channel. And while I was supposedly streaming live on my YouTube channel through Streamlabs, I didn't see it anywhere. I didn't see that I was live. I didn't see anything. So I'm still trying to figure this out. I do like the capabilities that Streamlabs has. It makes streams more interactive. It really kind of bumps them to the next level. when it's done right. Obviously, I don't know how to do it right yet, but I'm sure I'll figure it out eventually. Just keep digging, right? But anyway, so yeah, that's one thing. I'm trying to, put like the chat, the chat window like in the on the actual screen. There was another thing that I tried to enable with Streamlabs, which was like a little display of the most recent super chatter, which was Lucky Luke. I can't remember. There was like 4 numbers after his name. Lucky Luke, something, 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 something. Sent me a nice super chat. So shout out to you, Lucky Luke. Appreciate it. From Canada, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, and then there's like another box, like an alert box that pop up like when somebody like super chats or when somebody subscribes or somebody like, it just makes things more interactive when things sort of pop up on the screen. And so in that regard, I really am interested in using Streamlabs going forward. But I tried to hop on the mobile app and set everything up, and it just didn't work. It just didn't work. The only thing I can think of, which I don't think is super likely right now, the only thing I can think of is that I accidentally connected it to a different Google account. I do have multiple Google accounts, but I don't think that's what it is. I'm pretty sure that I connected it to my Ben's Chem Videos YouTube channel. So I don't know what's going on, but I do appreciate your patience in bearing with me on this. Let me check the chat for a message real quick. Looks like John Stream sent me the clever name, by the way. I don't know what it means, but thank you for your chat message. Looks like it's just a YouTube play button icon. Very cryptic. Not sure what you mean by that, but nonetheless, I thank you dearly for hopping in here. A gentleman by the name of Christian Barrios. I don't know. Am I supposed to roll the R on that one? Am I supposed to say Christian Barrios? Is that how you say it? I don't know. That's my best attempt at trying to imagine how your name is correctly pronounced. Says hello. Hello, Christian. I don't recognize you before, so if you're new to the stream, welcome and thank you so much for joining. Kai, whom I recognize from several previous streams, is waving. I think, thank you, Kai, for joining. I think I'm doing this at a time that is probably more appropriate to your time zone, I imagine. And it's funny because from what I remember, you're in California, and my wife's actually in California currently. She's at the airport. I won't say which airport she's at, but yeah, my wife's at in California right now. She's actually flying back here to, she's flying to Charlotte, North Carolina, and then she's driving from Charlotte to my house, to our house in South Carolina. So anyway, yeah, I think doing these at a later time is probably better for some of my friends over on the West Coast. I don't know about all the other guys across the pond. I know I have some supporters from India. I try my best to listen to everybody, to take feedback, to act on it. But, people tell me like, oh, you're doing streams at 5 a.m. That's like 3 a.m. in my country. It's like, oh, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. But I do thank everybody for their support. So thank you. Christian Barrios says, I'm thinking about majoring in chemistry in college. Interesting. Good for you, man. Good for you. Very cool. I can tell you about some of the experiences that I've had as a chemistry major, and I know I've said it before on live stream, but I didn't actually start out as a chemistry major. I started out as a biology major, mostly because I really didn't know what I wanted to do, and I took an AP biology class my senior year that I thought was cool. So I just like, you know what, I'm tired of being undeclared. Let me major in biology. And then somewhere around like my sophomore year, I switched to chemistry because it was just better, in my opinion, of course. Kai says, your beard looks solid. Thanks, bro. Thank you. Yeah, I wouldn't say I deliberately grew it. I just kind of neglected it and allowed it to grow. So, yeah, I didn't like put any like beard growth oil in it or anything like that. So I can hear my 2-month-old sort of crying right now. So I'm going to keep you guys with me while I go over to try to comfort her. Let me switch my camera. I don't want to turn on any lights that are too bright that are gonna startle her or wake her up or anything. But I got this cool thing right here. It's this egg light that I can turn on. So still not a good view. Let me put her pacifier back in. If that doesn't work, I might have to end the stream early, folks. Although usually putting her binky back in is just what she needs. Although right now she does not seem very sleepy. So put the camera back on me. Hey, there I am. thanks guys for staying with me and not leaving during my little episode where I had to comfort my 2-month-old. But how are you guys doing? I'd love to know how you guys are doing. And yeah, listen, Christian, I don't want to just brush over your comment. If you have any questions about, what it takes or, what the experience is like being a chemistry major, obviously, I have my own anecdotal, experience from when I was a chemistry major in college, but I'm sure it differs from one university to another. But I can give you some insight if you're interested. I'm not going to start spitting advice at you if it's unsolicited, but definitely, obviously that it sounds like you're finishing up high school, so I'm sure you're making killer grades. You're doing a great job. So, college, it's definitely a different animal, but if you're doing really well to the point where you're thinking about majoring in chemistry, then I'm sure you've got a good head on your shoulders. So, sounds like you're gonna kick some ass, man. You're gonna go to college, get a great job, and kick some ass. So nothing but best wishes and good luck to you, man. Kai asks, how do you plan on spending the holidays? Well, good question. So I actually have a wedding to go to. My brother is getting married at the end of the year. He's getting married on December 27th. So I'll be in Florida. Like I live in South Carolina, for those of you who don't know, but I'm going to travel to Florida at some point the week of Christmas. I have to figure out how much paid time off that I have at work, and that'll determine how soon I can travel. And then I'll just be, pretty low key, just spending time with family, just hanging out, maybe splitting time between, my in-laws, and my parents and stuff like that. Nothing crazy going on. I will say this though, I do have I will not be having a live stream next weekend because next week, at the end of the week on Friday the 11th, I'm going to be flying out to Las Vegas, Nevada. That's going to be the bachelor party for the wedding that I'm going to go to at the end of the year. So yeah, brother's getting married, and that's kind of the cool thing about getting married later in life. He's my older brother, so I am almost 31. My birthday is actually later this month. I'm almost 31, and so my brother's a couple years older than me, and he's gonna get married. So we're going to Las Vegas next weekend, and we're gonna have a good time. I don't know what's going on. I keep seeing a lot of messages. It says message retracted. So Kai sent a message that was retracted. Another person by the name of Vanilla V sent me a message. I can't remember what it said. I think it just said hello, something like that. But anyway, hello right back at you. Thank you for joining the stream. Totally appreciate your being here. So I think, yeah, my daughter is definitely starting to cry again. But so I'm gonna have to go comfort her. Hopefully this will be a seamless transition. Offspring Freak, hey, I recognize you. Welcome back. It says happy birthday in case we don't see you before then. I'll probably do another stream before my birthday. My birthday is on the 19th. So I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have sort of doxed myself by giving out my day of birth, but who cares? I think when it comes to doxing and malintention and stuff like that, I think that mostly happens to people who are like openly putting hostility out there. And I don't openly put hostility out there. I'm not trying to provoke people or piss people off. So I think for the most part, people are going to pretty much leave me alone. At least I hope they do. And if not, I'm armed. So if anybody shows up, they're going to, not a good idea. So anyway, let's see. Offspring Freak says LOL. Sharia Ishan says, hey there, big fan, very nice teacher you are. Thanks, man. I really appreciate your kind words, your support, your being here to participate in the live stream. Thank you so much, man. It really means the world to hear things like that. I'm going to go see my daughter, see if I can calm her down. Hang on, guys. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, it's okay, baby girl. I know. I know. Yeah, I know. Let's turn this light off, give you some privacy. Yeah. At some point, if she just keeps screaming, then I'll have to try to sort of pick her up while keeping my live stream on. Or if that doesn't work, I'll just have to end the stream prematurely. Definitely want to prioritize family over over YouTube, over career, over everything. Don't want to, I don't want to just let her sit there and be really upset the whole night. But right now, she seems okay for the most part. So we'll see. We'll see on that. But anyway, so I got a couple of people in here, so I can talk to you guys. Oh, okay. So I got a question from Christian. It says, "What would you say is the hardest topic in chemistry in college?" Probably like physical chemistry. Um, Physical chemistry is like really sort of like advanced chemistry. It uses a lot of advanced mathematics. There's a lot of like, really long derivations that you have to you have to like derive an equation, using relationships, one leading to the next, things like that. It can be very difficult, especially if you have not yet taken the math classes that are kind of like prerequisite knowledge for understanding physical chemistry. So when I took physical chemistry, I had not taken a differential equations class. I had not taken calculus 3. And though had I taken those classes before I started taking physical chemistry, I would have been in a much better position to do well in physical chemistry. But like I didn't know what a partial differential or a partial derivative was or anything like that. And so I'm seeing all these weird Greek symbols and stuff that I have no idea what it is. And so when you have to like teach yourself and give yourself the crash course in mathematics to understand physical chemistry, it can be very difficult. So I would definitely recommend before you start taking PChem, it's kind of just PChem is like short for physical chemistry. Before you start taking PChem, I would definitely recommend like taking as much, of that advanced level mathematics as you can first. So you won't be confused and frustrated, and hopefully your grade won't suffer as a result of that. Like mine did, spoiler alert. Let's see. Shaurya says, any tip for solving mole concept problem? I'm not sure which problem exactly you're referring to, but yeah, I mean, I don't know what you mean by mole concept problem. I mean, if you're talking about converting from the mass of an element or compound to the amount of that element or compound in moles, it's pretty straightforward. You just simply use the molar masses of the element, or in the case of a compound, the combination of the elements, all the atoms in the molecule, whatever, from the periodic table, and then you use that, it's in grams per mole, and so you would set that up as a conversion factor in which you'd put your grams on the bottom of the conversion factor and your moles on the top. The grams will cancel and you'll end up with moles. Make sure you know how to use your calculator correctly and all that. That's pretty much all the advice I can give on that without knowing more information about the nature of the problem that you're talking about. So I hope that helps. I think my daughter is crying again, so I'm going to have to warm up a bottle. I think she might want a bottle, so I'm going to go to the fridge. This is like the first time I'm kind of giving you guys, not a full tour, but I'm showing the inside of my house. Got some bottles here of breast milk. This is the bottle warmer right here. So I'm going to, the way this works is you fill this pod up with a little bit of P-O-D. You fill this pod up with a little bit of water. You dump it in the bottle warmer, and then you press this button. It lights up, put your bottle in, and it steams. It just gets hot, and it just releases steam, and it warms the bottle from the outside. And this light it goes off when you're done, when it's done steaming the water, or heating up the water rather, making the steam. All right. Come here, baby girl. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. We're going to get you a bottle, okay? We're going to get you a bottle. It's going to be so good. I promise. I promise. We're going to get you that bottle. Oh, so I noticed a couple of people have jumped out of the stream. Can't say that I blame them. I mean, seeing me tend to my daughter's needs every couple of minutes probably isn't the most entertaining thing. So certainly no hard feelings for anybody who's left the stream as a result of my family distractions and this and that. But you could say that maybe the YouTube is the distraction away from my family. Think about that. But I don't know. I'm just teasing. So anyway, so a couple things I wanted to talk about with you guys. I was trying to use Streamlabs to get my stream going, and it failed miserably. So I'm gonna have to look into more research on that. But Christian asked me a question, and I'll get to it in a second, Christian. I just don't want to lose my train of thought here. But I kind of just really want to take my live streaming to the next level, because the way that I've been doing my live streams is very unorganized, sort of off the cuff. You know, a lot of the times I'm relying on the audience to basically come up with the topic, and then I'll try to expand upon it. There are many times during my live streams where I've just kind of run out of things to talk about because, you know, I do my live streams basically like on a weekly basis. And, you know, sometimes there are weeks where there's not a whole lot that's happened. So I don't really have much to talk about, you know. So I think being more deliberate with my live streams, doing a format, you know, with different segments, you know, I could have like, you know, opening statement, like a monologue type thing. I could get into, you know, a topic of the day or a topic of the week, which could be anything. It could be like some chemistry topic. You know, I could, hey, this week we're going to talk about acid-base chemistry, or, you know, we're going to, you know, do a live stream on that, or, you know, it could be something like chemistry in the news. It could be like something, you know, I don't know if you're familiar. There's this magazine called Chemical Engineering News. They have a lot of articles in there, so I could like pull an article up on my computer and like react to it or whatever. And I also want to do live call-ins, you know, where I have like a call-in show type thing where you call in on Discord and I can actually talk to you directly. To me, that's just such a more organic way of communicating with the audience rather than, you know, doing what we're doing now. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I love talking to you guys regardless of how it's done, but I do think it would be a lot better if we could actually talk, you know, my voice to your voice in real time with no delay. There's a significant delay on this live stream thing where, you know, by the time I see that you've sent a chat message, we may have already sort of gone to a different topic, you know what I mean? So to avoid those little communication errors and have like more of a back and forth, like organic sort of communication, I really want to do that. I want to do like, you know, like a formatted thing with maybe like music and an intro, just, you know, kind of beef up the production a little bit and just get more organized, you know, because I think these streams would be a lot better if I actually planned them out. I had a topic, you know, or a format, you know, segments and things like that. You know, if I had that all planned out ahead of time, I could do a much better job, and, you know, hopefully like attract more viewers, get more support, more donations, more super chat. By the way, if anybody wants to send a super chat, I ain't gonna complain. I would really appreciate it. Obviously, you're under no obligation to do so, and some of you may have already sent one in the past, so for that I'm very grateful. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking about doing. Just having, you know, more production value, more organization, just to actually have like an actual plan on paper for how to do these streams instead of just winging it. Because I don't know. I just think when you wing it, you just don't really, you know, you're kind of just aiming in the dark. You don't really know what's going on. And, you know, I think we have, you know, between you guys and me, you know, the audience, whatever, I think we have had a pretty good conversation from winging it. But I just think that actually, you know, that combination of having a plan, a format, and doing a call-in show type thing would just really bump it up to the next level. So any feedback you want to give me on that, in that regard, I would appreciate it. Thank you in advance. So Christian says, what advice would you give to your 16-year-old self? That's a good question. I don't know. I guess I would tell my 16-year-old self to, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really do these hypotheticals all that much. So maybe I would tell my 16-year-old self to, you know, like take advantage of the resources around you while you have them, you know. Like, I think that's one of the biggest, if I could call it a regret, it would be like one of the biggest regrets I've had, you know, in college, was like I had all these resources around me. You know, there were labs, there were people who could help, there was like a career services department. There was all this stuff that I really could have used to really like get the most out of my college education and expand and build my network and be in a really good place career wise. That I feel like I just didn't take as much advantage of that stuff as I could have and as I should have. So I guess that's probably the biggest piece of advice, you know, that I would give to my 16-year-old self. You know, take advantage of the resources that you have around you while you have them, because you won't always have them. So let's see what else is in the chat. Nothing. That's it. I'm all caught up on the chat. So anyway. So yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts on that. You know, one thing that I've kind of been thinking about too is that, it's like all these plans, these aspirations, this and that I want to do with my live stream. It's all fine and great. I want to have a format. I want to have like, production, intro, music, call-ins, things like that. But all of those things are pretty difficult to do alone. Um, and the way that I work is I'm kind of a loner, like I've never really brought in anybody else to like help me with making chemistry content or anything like that. I mean, fairly recently I have reached out to other, chemistry YouTubers, people who are much larger than I am. I've done an interview with Dave Farina from Professor Dave Explains. He was nice enough to do a Discord chat with me that I recorded. Melissa Maribel is another one. She is really awesome. So, and I'm very, very thankful to her for not only doing an interview with me on my channel, but she actually posted her own video that was like a trailer to sort of send people to the interview. So that was just, she's a 10 out of 10 top-notch human being. And I hope that we can collaborate on something else in the future. I think that'd be really cool. But other than that, I'm kind of a loner, and when you have, I know other people do this in teams. They'll have like moderators, or they'll have like somebody managing their Discord server, lining up calls, screening the callers and stuff like that to try to weed out, trolls and make sure they have relevant things to talk about and all that stuff. So that's kind of one thing that is makes me a little bit apprehensive, is doing it all on my own. Like, how am I going to pull this off? But hey, if I can get through a physical chemistry class, I think I can figure it out. So, physical chemistry is like one of the hardest freaking classes I've ever taken. I honestly think it's like one of the hardest classes that's out there. Because you're dealing with like super advanced mathematics, like quantums and like advanced statistical thermodynamics, just all this crazy shit. That's really, really difficult. And then you hear the business majors talking about, oh, my advanced accounting class was so hard. It's like, okay, I've never taken an advanced accounting class, but I can't imagine that it's even remotely as hard as physical chemistry. I mean, come on. Austin Coward, welcome, Austin. I appreciate you joining me in the stream. Says, how do you cheat when an exam is proctored? I'm sure if you were devoted enough, you could figure out a way. But if you're devoted enough to figure out a way to cheat during a proctored exam, why not just use that same level of devotion not to cheat in the first place, to actually go legit, study hard. That'll pay off a lot better for you than trying to figure out a way to game the system. So that would be my answer to that question. How do you cheat? You don't. You use the same drive and motivation and energy that you would apply to cheating to actually doing well. And the thing about cheating is that this is going to sound so lame and cliche. I'm sure you've heard, you're only hurting yourself and this and that, but I got to tell you, man, that's really true. Because the whole thing about cheating, like there's always going to be people who cheat and stuff like that. It's like, it's whatever. When I was taking an organic chemistry final, I saw a dude trying to look off my paper and it was annoying. I was like, you asshole. Like I was covering up my answers so he couldn't see them and all this shit. But the thing about cheating is that when you cheat, you develop habits. Or not just when you cheat, but when you do anything, when you're honest, or when you're working hard, or when you're trying to find a way to cheat or lowball, you're developing habits. And the thing about habits is that most of what we do as human beings isn't really isn't super deliberate. A lot of our lives we sort of live on autopilot. And oftentimes, instead of having like these purely 100% independent decisions about every action that we take, instead of that, mostly what we do is just what we're in the habit of doing, right? So habits are really, really important. And when you cheat, right, what sort of habits are you forming? You're forming habits that make you really unlikable and to a large degree unemployable, right? I don't want a dentist who cheated on his dental exams or whatever in dental school to be working on my teeth. I don't want an engineer who cheated on his engineering exams to be building a bridge. You know what I mean? So I just think it's really important to, you know, not cheat for yourself, you know, because it'll benefit you more in the long run. So Austin says, yeah, lots of people get through college cheating, and it's a hard truth we got to face. Good point. I'm not going to dispute that. Austin says, appreciate advice though, man. Keep doing what you're doing. I got to finish my sociology final. Maybe next time I cheat, I will think about this. All right, man. Well, you know what? You've heard my piece on it, and I'm not gonna you know, I'm not gonna send any hostility or animosity your way. In fact, I do appreciate your honesty in this conversation that we're having, because there's nothing worse than a cheater who you know, masks himself as an honest person. So at least you're kind of calling yourself out, which I do respect. But yeah, I mean, you probably knew, if you know anything about me at all, you probably knew what my answer to that question was going to be. But anyway, good luck on your sociology final. Yes, a lot of people cheat, but you know, there's a lot of people that murder people. There's a lot of people that, you know, deal drugs to addicts who have medical problems. I mean, just because there's a lot of people that do something does not mean that that's what you ought to do. So anyway, but thanks for the conversation, man. I appreciate it. And as far as the, you know, keep doing what I'm doing, thank you for that comment. I really appreciate it. Speaking of doing what I'm doing, as far as my educational content goes, I have 2 videos lined up. I'm going to do like a 2-part series on finding the limiting reagent or limiting reactant. I'm going to call it the limiting reactant because in my research, I've noticed that the term limiting reactant gets searched for more than the term limiting reagent. And so by using a term that's searched for a little bit more, hopefully that'll kind of put me a little bit higher up in the algorithm and show my title and thumbnail and video to more people. I really don't like trying to figure those things out, like trying to figure out how to work the algorithm and this and that. But, you know, it seems like that's kind of what you have to do these days. But I think most of what the algorithm rewards is just quality content, just making good stuff that people want to watch. So I'm going to be doing, my next video, I'll be doing 2 problems on how to find the limiting reactant. And then in the following video, I'll do 2 more problems on finding the limiting reactant, but they'll be in different circumstances. So like one problem will be, you know, you're given moles of one reactant and moles of another reactant. You're trying to figure out which one is the limiting reactant. The next problem will be you're given the masses in grams of both reactants, and so it's a little bit more difficult. You have to convert them to moles to figure out which reactant is limiting and this and that. And then that's going to be one video. And then in the following video, I'm going to do a limiting reactant problem involving gas stoichiometry. So like using the ideal gas law and invoking that in the context of stoichiometry, and also a solution stoichiometry where you have to use like molarity or molality or whatever. So anyway, so that's upon the horizon. I'm hoping to have at least one of those 2 videos finished over this weekend. It's been a little bit difficult lately because my wife's been out of town and my mom has been in town to help me with the girls. So she's been sleeping in the room where I usually shoot my videos and stuff like that. So it's been a little bit difficult trying to find the time and the space to make content lately. But when my wife returns home tomorrow, hopefully that I can carve out maybe an hour or an hour and a half in the day to get at least one of those videos done. So if you know anybody who needs help with their stoichiometry component of their chemistry classes, or if you know anybody who just wants to learn more, or if you yourself would like to learn more about stoichiometry, you know, chemistry, or finding the limiting reactant in a chemical reaction, those videos are just upon the horizon. Christian says, I'm taking physics now and it's a bit difficult. Yeah, physics was difficult for me. Physics was difficult for me, mostly because I never took it in high school. I kind of just had to take it in college, and I just jumped right into like a really difficult, it was like physics for scientists and engineers. And it used some calculus that I wasn't familiar with at the time. I just wasn't, I just wasn't good at it. I didn't really get off to a good start when it comes to physics. You know, doing like the free body diagrams and this and that. I don't know. For some reason, I don't have the same fondness for physics that I do with chemistry. Although I will say that there are a lot of really, really cool physics-based toys. You know, they're like the Newton's cradle, and there's just all kinds of like little trinkets and gadgets, a lot of which are actually sold on Amazon, and they're relatively affordable. There's a lot of cool physics-based toys that I find very fascinating. But as a student of physics, like as a taking physics as a class, I just don't like it so much. So, but that's just my opinion. Nothing against it. It's just my own personal preference, right? Christian says, I'm not a fan of it. I think there's too much math. Well, yeah, whenever you're dealing with hard sciences, man, math is kind of unavoidable. Maybe to a lesser degree, biology doesn't invoke as much math, but there's still some math in biology. But yeah, I think you're right. I mean, because with chemistry, like there's so many different types of chemistry, and really like if you work hard enough and you're still not like super great at math, you can still pass your physical chemistry class. You can still pass your inorganic chemistry class. Both of them use quite a bit of math. And then, but your general chemistry, your organic chemistry, most of that math is just, simple arithmetic, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. There's a few things, with exponentials and logarithms and stuff like that, but none of that is super, groundbreaking math. But yeah, once you get into physical chemistry, though, that's when you start getting into the calculus and the partial differentials and all this stuff that is really, really frustrating if you haven't already taken those classes ahead of time. But yeah, I mean, I I thought I was good at math until I started taking calculus, and then I'm like, man, like I'm not good at this at all. Like I need to up my game. And so that's kind of one of the things, I'd say probably the main thing that inspired me to start doing YouTube videos was I was really struggling in my Calculus 2 class. I had a professor who was just dog shit, just god-awful professor. Clearly didn't care about what he was just babbling in front of the blackboard, not caring at all who was actually understanding what he was talking about. So I turned to YouTube for help to see if I can get some help with my Calculus 2. And I found a YouTuber by the name of Patrick JMT. He's got like a video for almost everything when it comes to math. And he helped me out a lot. And so that kind of inspired me to start doing tutorial videos on my own. I'm like, this looks really fun. And, I might have an opportunity to help people. And I'd also been inspired by, some of my experiences that I had as a private tutor. When I was in college, I would tutor chemistry to students. I would charge like $10 an hour. Which was kind of undercutting the market rate. I think the market rate was more like 15 to 20, but I didn't really care. I cared more about the experience and like, tutoring people than I did necessarily about the money. But definitely through my experiences as a private tutor in college, that combined with, YouTube channels like Patrick JMT and to a lesser degree, Khan Academy. I definitely used some Khan Academy videos to help me throughout college too. And the nice thing about those channels, like Khan Academy, Patrick JMT, is that there's a video for like just about everything, So yeah, lots of good content out there that's been out there for quite some time. And so I was like, you know what? Maybe I can add to this body of knowledge. Maybe I can, sort of make my name doing this kind of stuff on the side. And that's the origin of my channel. So not that anybody asked me about the origin of my channel. I just sort of took it upon myself to tell you about it. But hey, I think it's kind of a nice story. So let's see. Offspring Freak says, have you considered doing an online learning platform in chemistry for self-learners similar to Khan Academy, only better since it would be by you? Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate your comment. Yeah, I'm always thinking of things like that in the back of my head. I'm always thinking about, how could I sort of take the educational efforts to the next level, because when you're doing YouTube videos, you're not really teaching, you're just talking. You're just talking, and you're kind of leaving, you're not assessing the viewer. You're not like making sure that the viewer of the video actually has a solid understanding of what you're talking about before you move on to the next topic. You're kind of just putting it on them. Like, I hope you get this, And the advantage to video is that, you know, you can rewind a video. If I'm talking too fast, you can play it at a slower speed. If I'm talking too slow, you can play the video at a faster speed. Um, so there's definitely some advantages with video, but I think, yeah, there's definitely an opportunity, you know, there's always an opportunity to make things better. And the assessment component of education is very, very important. So having a platform, I don't know exactly how Khan Academy works now and how they do their I think, yeah, I think it's more of like online classes now where they actually have like assessments and things, which I think is really cool. Clearly that's a team effort. There's a lot of people working on that. But, you know, back when I watched Khan Academy, it was just that one dude, Sal Khan, I think is his name. It was just the one guy who would just, you know, spend almost all of his time just banging out educational videos. And, you know, he just worked really, really hard and cranked out a lot of videos and just got a big organic following from what I understand. So I'm not exactly familiar with how he does his content or how Khan Academy works now, but yeah, I'm always thinking about things like that. And, you know, I also think about, you know, having my own sort of products, like selling my own products as far as like flashcards or study guides or courses or, you know, sessions that I can, you know, like online, like webinars and stuff like that, trainings, things like that. Um, you know, the other thing that I've talked about, and this is something that I talked to Melissa Maribel about, was, you know, an effort to help people who are in the scientists or in the scientists, help people who are in the sciences find jobs, you know, because, and this is something that I experienced on a personal level, was when I took chemistry in college, the chemistry department at my university, I'm not trying to throw disrespect their way. I'm not trying to talk shit, but my honest feedback to them is that, you know, they taught me a lot of stuff about chemistry, but they didn't teach me anything about how to network or how to make money, like doing any of it. You know, they didn't really have much in the realm of career fairs or, you know, like, you know, resume building or, you know, connecting with employers. There wasn't really any kind of like program. There was no arm of the chemistry department that was devoted to actually helping the alumni once they graduate find jobs, which is kind of the point. Like, you know, you're not studying the chemistry just because it's fun. You're studying the chemistry because you want to make a living at it, you know. And the way that the chemistry department worked, where I went to school, was, you know, they just kind of wanted you to figure all that stuff out for yourself, or they just didn't care. And I just thought that was kind of shitty. But so maybe building some type of effort like that to actually connect people, you know, talented individuals, talented scientists. Because let's be honest, scientists tend to be pretty introverted people. They're not very extroverted. They don't really know how to be assertive about what it is that they want. You know, the kind of job that they're looking for. They don't really know how to sell themselves or put their best foot forward. So I think some kind of program, some kind of platform that I could maybe create or build to help sort of bridge that gap between people who are talented but just don't really know or just don't have the innate social biological skills to sort of get their names out there to connect with the employers who would be happy to employ them but just don't know anything about them. So yeah, all kinds of stuff I think about, but the thing is that, like, you know, I think about this stuff, but oftentimes it just doesn't go anywhere, you know. And I think I know that most of the reason why it doesn't go anywhere is because there just aren't enough hours in the day, you know. I'm getting up very early to you know, my daughter, for instance, my 2-month-old woke me up at like 4 a.m. this morning, and so I set my alarm for 5:30 because I wanted to get into work pretty early this morning. You know, she wakes me up at 4, and you know, it's like, okay, I'm up. Like, is there really any point in trying to get back to sleep when I have to wake up in an hour and a half? And by the way, like, just because she woke me up at 4 doesn't mean I was done, you know, calming her down and feeding her and changing her diaper and stuff at 4. It took me like at least 30 minutes to do that. So I wake up at 4, and then, you know, 4:30, let's say, I'm finally done, you know, making sure my daughter's good. She's, you know, back to sleep. She's fed, she's changed and everything, you know, so I'm awake for an hour that I don't need to be awake, but, you know, there's no point in going back to sleep. You know, I work all day. I come home for lunch, this and that. Like, you know, I get back a couple hours ago. You know, I'm preparing dinner for my girls, my daughters and stuff, and you know, it's a busy it's a busy life. You know, working full time, raising 2 daughters. So, you know, I have these great, you know, maybe not great, but I have these like ambitious sort of ideas of what I'd like to do and everything. But, you know, unless I take the plunge and, like, you know, quit my full time job to focus on my educational efforts full time, it's going to be very slow. It's going to be a slow growth process. And I'm just not that much of a risk taker, man. I mean, I get like, I get like benefits, I have like health insurance and stuff like that. That's really important when you're raising a family. So to like it would just be such a huge risk. I mean, I'm sure I could probably figure it out, but I don't know, man. I'm just not that much of a risk taker. So if you guys want to comment on that, I'd love to hear your thoughts. But let's see. Someone by the name of Kay says, "Yo, hello, Kay. Yo, right back at you. Hope you're doing well." Looks like my daughter's crying again, but her bottle is definitely ready to give her. So I'm gonna try to pick up my daughter and feed her while still holding the camera and putting it on me. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear her right now, but she's crying. So I might have to put you down for a second while I go get her. But hang on. Hi, baby girl. It's okay. It's okay, baby. I know. We're gonna make it all better. It's okay. Shh, 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 shh. I know. Shh, 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 shh. It's all right. Here you go. Here you go. Oh yeah. All right, guys. Oh, the bottle fell out. Put the mic back over here. I know. Here you go. Here you go. All right. I know. It's okay. I know. It's all right. It's all right. Yeah, isn't that better? Yeah. All right. Can you guys hear me okay? Because I have the mic like sort of down here. I don't have a free hand to clip it back onto me. But if you can hear me, then I guess I don't really need to clip it back onto me. Offspring Freak says, yes, I can hear you. Great. Very cool. Thanks for staying with me. Christian says it sounds hectic. Yeah, it is a little bit hectic, but, it's the life of a parent, and I wouldn't trade it for anything else in the world. So let me try to... Can you keep that bottle up there? Can I put my mic back on? Is that okay with you? She's going through this bottle pretty quickly. I might have to warm up another one. These bottles are only like 2 ounces a piece, and it's not uncommon for her to knock down like 5-6 ounces in a single feeding. She's a growing baby. She's a growing baby. I actually just took her to the doctor the other day for her 2-month checkup, and I'm happy to report that everything is going well. She did have to get a few shots, which is, unpleasant as a parent to see them poking the needle in your baby, and she's, doesn't like it. But, it's better than getting rotavirus. It's better than getting polio. It's better than getting, HIB and all that kind of stuff. So, anyway, yeah, everything's going well on the parenting front. But what was I talking about before? Oh, yeah, I was just talking about how, I have this idea in the back of my mind of maybe, stepping away from the sort of traditional career path and just sort of becoming my own boss, becoming like an entrepreneur, becoming, like actually like selling educational resources and making my living that way. It's a very intriguing idea. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be thinking about it as often as I think about it. But, the amount of risk that's involved, I think is just too much for me right now, given that I have, 2 daughters that are both under the age of 3, and I just need the stability, need the predictability, need the health coverage, and perhaps as my daughters get older, if I can put away some more money of an emergency fund and stuff like that, perhaps I can revisit that topic of maybe stepping away from that traditional career path and doing my own educational efforts full time. And hey, if my YouTube channel picks up steam and, start getting more in ad revenue or more in donations, more in super chats. By the way, I do have super chats enabled. I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but I do have super chats enabled. So if anybody wanted to send me one, hey, it's the holiday season, it's the perfect time. Anyway, enough about that. So yeah, I think about it a lot, but I think about things that I could be doing a lot, but there's just not enough hours in the day to act upon them. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. But I do appreciate any suggestion that I get. And I really hope that I'm not coming off as like, just shooting down any suggestion that somebody gives me. Um, I really want to take all feedback seriously. I want to take feedback and to the best of my ability, act upon that feedback. Um, yeah, and that goes for everything. If anybody thinks there's anything wrong with what I do, anything about my videos that I could be doing better, just let me know. A grown ass man. I got a pretty thick skin. I can, even if it's like a harsh criticism, like I welcome it, man. I need to be criticized. It's the only way you get better at what you're doing. That's how I choose to interpret it. So, Forget Me Not _16 says hello, Forget Me Not. How are you? I recognize you from a previous stream, and perhaps you've commented on my videos before. I believe you have. I don't have the best short-term memory in the world, but anyway. But yeah, welcome back. Forget Me Not. Thank you for joining me. Christian says, I would donate to you, but I don't have any money. Oh, that's okay, man. There's plenty of ways that you can help out the channel. Obviously, liking, subscribing, things like likes and subscriptions and comments and stuff like that. They're not just good for the self-esteem or the ego of the YouTuber. They also help discovery. They also boost the video up in the algorithm to where it will be shown, the thumbnail, the title will be shown to more people. So that's the main reason why YouTubers are always asking you to like and subscribe and leave a comment and, click the notification bell and everything. It's because the algorithm actually promotes their videos when people do that more. So that's a way that you can help out without actually donating money. You can tell your friends, you can, share the content on your social media profiles or, anybody who who needs help with chemistry. There's plenty of ways. Oh man, my daughter, she just killed that. She just killed her bottle. Yes, she did. All right, I gotta get this blanket out of the way. I know, it's okay. Sorry guys, just stay with me just for a second while I... Oh, I know. We're gonna get this binky in though. We're gonna get the binky. A little patch fire. Yeah. Yeah. All right, I'm going to try to hold the phone. I'm rocking a little selfie stick here. I'm going to try to hold it with my legs so that I can position my daughter on my shoulder to burp the baby. This is one thing that you learn when you're a parent. One thing that you learn when you're a parent is when a baby is drinking milk out of a bottle, they swallow a lot of air. Usually they swallow quite a bit of air. So what I'm doing is burping the baby. So I'm just kind of gently tapping her back to try to free up those gas bubbles and make them rise to the top so that she'll kind of belch them out. It's called burping the baby. It'd be nice if I can get a nice loud baby burp right here on stream. That would be cool. Somebody said she's adorable. I think that was you, Offspring Freak. Thanks, man. I appreciate your comment. She is adorable. I mean, I'm a pretty biased judge of that, but yeah, both my daughters are just gorgeous. Doesn't make me wish I had another one. I think 2 is enough for this family. A lot of responsibility and a lot of money, but my 2-year-old is making an appearance. Hey, let's see if I can switch the camera around. You want to say hi? You want to say hi to the live stream? Say hi, live stream. Hi, live stream. Hello. No, I don't want you holding the phone. Yeah, you're looking at yourself now, aren't you? Yeah. That's you. That's baby girl. But yeah, I don't know, but you see what I'm dealing with here. I mean, I don't want to say dealing with because that kind of gives a negative connotation. Oh, she found the tablet. Oh boy, she found the tablet, and she's gonna start playing with it. I think it's game over. But this is the life that I lead. I have when you have kids and you're not just saying that you have kids, like when you actually take the time to spend time with them and raise them and stuff like that, it's just there's less there's less time for other things. There's less time to focus on your career. There's less time to, in my case, to focus on my YouTube channel and stuff like that. That doesn't mean that it's impossible for me to, still be, a small YouTuber, which I am. I'm a very small YouTuber. When I tell people, because like when I tell people who don't know that I have a YouTube channel, like in my, like at work or, wherever, like, oh, one of the first questions is how many subscribers do you have? And then when I say like, oh yeah, just over 63,000, they're like, oh wow, that's crazy. Like that's so big. And it's like, okay, maybe. But here the thing about YouTube is that like subscribers is just not really the most important metric. Like yeah, I might have 63,100 and something subscribers, but a very, 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 very small portion of them actually watch my content. A lot of people who are still subscribed to me are just people who no longer want to be subscribed to me, but they just haven't gotten around to unsubscribing. So I would encourage anybody. I mean, it's not like these inactive subscribers are going to actually watch this stream, so it's kind of just my words falling on deaf ears. But I would encourage anybody who is not an active viewer of my channel, who doesn't want to watch the content or who has no use for it, to unsubscribe. And I'm not trying to be spiteful or anything like that. I mean, I have nobody to blame other than myself for taking these long periods of time without uploading. I think that's probably the primary reason for people not being, still being subscribed but not being active, is because I've had these really, really long periods of time where I haven't uploaded anything. I'm not blaming anybody other than myself for that. But, I would definitely, encourage anybody who doesn't view my channel regularly, or is just like subscribe to me but doesn't actually engage or anything. If you're subscribed but you're not actually doing anything on my channel, like I would encourage you to unsubscribe. Like I'd rather have like a low subscribe count but like a high percentage of like active subscribers who are actually engaging. And also that's going back to the YouTube algorithm, right? The YouTube algorithm actually sort of penalizes you and like shows your videos to less people if you have like a small percentage of your subscribers are actually like click your videos and watch your content or leave likes or comments or this and that. So yeah, but it's all good because over the course of the last several months I've made a lot of efforts to try to defibrillate my YouTube channel back to life, so that I could get sort of the viewership that I used to have, and maybe even rise beyond that. But yeah, definitely not trying to blame anybody for that. That's totally my fault, my responsibility. Oh, you need this to be fixed? Here you go. Sorry, daughter's asking me to fix something right now. Oh, what's this one? Oh, you want to fix that one too? I got this paracord bracelet. She knows how to buckle it together, but she doesn't know how to unbuckle it. So she brings it to me to unbuckle it so that she can buckle it again. Buckle! Yeah, she likes buckling things. She likes snapping, connecting things together. It's hard to do with one hand, though. There we go. There you go. Whee! You got it. Uh-oh. Anyway. So, all right. Let's see. John Rivera chimed into the chat. I saw your message a second ago, John. Sorry it took me so long. Sorry, I'm not showing myself right now. Hang on. I will get to your message, John. Sorry it took me so long to respond to it, but it says your videos helped me in college. Thanks, man. Hey, thank you, and thanks for coming back and showing your support, man. I mean, obviously, it sounds like you're not in college anymore, so you don't really need my channel, but I really, really do appreciate you sending support my way. It does not go unnoticed, and it really keeps the wind in my sails. So, oh no, are you upset? Do you want your passy? Oh, it's okay. Oh, no. Right. I'm gonna do the leg thing again. Oh. It's alright. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. See? It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's okay. Oh, here you go. It popped out. Let's put it back in. There you go. I think she's going to want another bottle pretty soon. So I'll probably have to end the stream so that I can, like, be a dad. Like a full, like, totally 100% present dad rather than, trying to split my attention between my live stream and my kids. So I'll probably end the stream here in a little bit. But yeah, if you guys want to type anything last minute in the chat for me to respond to, now's the time to do it. Other than that, yep, I think I'm going to get going. So yeah, I guess I'll just end the stream by once again saying thanks to all you guys who participated. Thank you very much. And if you guys are interested in keeping up with me, I am on. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Shh. Sorry, my daughter's got this tablet and she wants me to put on. What do you want? Do you want alphabet hip hop? Alphabet hip hop. Here you go. There you go. All right, she's okay now. So yeah, I guess I'll just end the stream by saying thanks once again. I appreciate all your support. And if you wanted to keep up with me, there are various ways to do that. I'm on a multitude of social media platforms. I have Facebook, I have Twitter, I have Instagram, and I have a Discord server. If you want to find links to any of those, all you have to do is go to my YouTube channel page. That's youtube.com/BensChemVideos. And if you look at the bottom right-hand corner of the channel banner located at the top of the page, you will see little icons for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Discord. All of those icons are clickable links that you can use to follow me if you want. I would certainly appreciate it. My social media platforms do not have many followers, so any support I can get, help I can get from you guys would be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. So Christian says, take care, Ben. I'll see you in the next stream whenever that is. Yeah, and thanks for being here, man. You've spent a lot of time on the stream, so I really, really appreciate you and your time today. Thank you very much for your time. All right, everybody, that is it. Have a great night and an even better weekend, and I love you guys. Talk to you soon.